So let me ask you, so your Thanksgiving smoothie, which would include your turkey, your gravy,
mashed
your
potatoes.
mashed potatoes.
Yeah, and
so
stuffing.
They get put in the blender.
In the blender, yep.
So
But it's intentional.
Okay, so basically, if an audible is called, you can't handle the audible. As long as you know going in, they're going to be touching, you're fine.
Yeah, the audible is something that I control, which is why we're talking about the OCD of food touching. If I can control it, I can control my plate. If the plate's not big enough, then I'll just use 2 plates.
I bet you were a treat to cook for as a child.
Yeah,
and cut that grilled cheese right, too.
Yes.
Try being my wife now.
Yeah. John is a literal giant toddler. This is psychotic behavior from Jansen. The Jansen sandwich, which sounds delicious, has bacon and eggs together on a burger. But you can't have bacon and eggs on the same plate?
No.
No. Now, what about...
That's why it's called OCD.
Yeah.
You eat fried eggs?
They got to be sunny side. So yeah, fried, yeah.
Yeah, but
I like them rare.
You got yolk coming out. There's no way that can touch your bacon or sausage.
No, but I use the bacon to mop it up.
Yeah, exactly.
The problem is if it sits in there, then it ruins it. To me, it changes the consistency of the bacon.
So let's say you sat down and you're going to have a bowl of cereal. And one bowl has the cereal, the other has the milk, and then you take the spoon, you get the cereal, and then you put it into the milk, and then you take...
No, because I do like the now it depends on the cereal. Because if I like some cereals to be crunchy all the way through, but I like other ones, like if you're going to have grape nuts or one of the fiber cereals, it's nice to have a little of soften them up a little bit.
So for example, like Cheerios, they got to soak a little before you start eating them. But Frosted Flakes, you're going right in as soon as that milk's in the pan.
You don't want them soggy. Frosted Flakes are better when they're crispy. Right. Yeah. There's some, you're right, like Rice Krispies aren't bad. They're not crispy. 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm. Still dealing with a freeway closure, this time around 275 southbound at Michigan Avenue. All lanes are blocked around that Work Zone D10 accident. In the meantime, seeing a little bit of a backup, so you may want to use Haggerty instead. Also look out for a disabled vehicle in the left lane, Lodge Freeway northbound just after 7 Mile. Hurt in an auto accident? Let Michigan's most experienced personal injury law firm fight and win for you. Their experience pays. Get the Bernstein advantage. Call 1-800-CALL-SAM today. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
I'm Amy Lawrence with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Dan Campbell was leery of the hype train running through Detroit in the preseason. Well, that train is now a speeding bullet after the Lions stunned the Super Bowl champion Chiefs at Arrowhead. It was a fourth-quarter touchdown drive and stifling defense that gave up no third down conversions in the second half. Campbell said the game didn't teach him anything about his team that he didn't already know. It just confirmed it. I'm Amy Lawrence.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Can I get a Egg McMuffin meal with a large Coke?
Absolutely. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, see you in a second. It'll be 847.
Second window? I don't know. I guess it's this window.
Number 7. Thank you.
Thanks. How you doing?
Good.
How's your Coke?
Good.
One of the great movie lines of all time.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
I love that movie.
It was a
Great
good
movie.
really good movie.
One of my
I must
favorites.
have left my
So,
phone cord at home.
I was wondering, 248-539-9797, what is your favorite movie? Like, or what's the most iconic movie lines there? Because that's one of them.
Yeah.
Sure, John. Yeah. He's never seen Dirty Dancing.
No.
What?
Really?
No.
Even with your
Why would I?
daughters? I don't know. You've got so
No.
many children. And a lot of them are girls.
I
Yeah.
assume your wife has seen Dirty Dancing.
I assume she has.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago, and it's not really in my
I understand.
I
It's
get
not my
that,
wheelhouse.
but-
genre.
I know
Yeah.
John
I
Wayne's
do
not
get
Dirty
that.
Dancing. I
No,
get
no,
that.
he's not.
I feel
Especially
like
now.
everyone has seen it. It's been on TV. You at least.
I've seen parts of
Okay.
it, but I've never sat down and said, I've got to watch this movie.
You don't have to now, but it's
No,
not.
no,
It's part of
I know
culture.
I know the line, and some of these iconic lines are so iconic, like people use them and haven't even seen the whole movie.
Very
Like,
true.
I understand this line, I've
Very
heard
true.
this line,
Right.
I've used it, and I'm not going to steal what I think is going to be Greg's probably #1 line, and it's probably one of the most, if not the most iconic line of all time in the movie. So I'll wait for him. He's taking some calls right now. The Godfather is one that I use those lines all the time.
Oh yeah, you know. making off you can't refuse. I mean, that's probably the most famous one
It's
from The
probably
Godfather.
that one, yeah. And you know, I'll use them on the kids, and they're like, Dad, what's that from? And
Yes.
I'll use, you know, the voice from Vito and all this stuff. And then the one that, you know, they'll say thanks, you know, for doing something very mundane, and I'll say, you know, someday, and that day may never come, but I will call on you. And they're like, Dad, what are you talking about? And so, you know, someday I'll sit down with them and force them to watch the trilogy. Maybe if we have another pandemic at some point, but it would take about that long.
You don't even have to watch the trilogy. The first two are enough.
The first two are enough, yeah. The third one,
And most of the ones, you know, that you go back and forth with over your friends are comedies, you know, in my year, you know, Caddyshack, that whole realm. But I'm going to come up with two because I tried to be a little more modern, and both of mine are not exactly comedies either. There's one, basically, from the movie The Joker, where he says, "Why so serious?"
Oh, yeah.
I just love that line. And the other one actually kind of fits me because of how you depict me to a certain extent. Oh, but it's Clint Eastwood from Gran Torino. "Get off my lawn." That's just a great line.
Yes, go ahead, make my day.
Oh, you see, you're going way back.
Yeah,
you're going way back. 248-539-9797. Let's say good morning to Mike in Clinton Township. What's up, Mike?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, I got two. One of them is Val Kilmer in Tombstone. I'm your Huckleberry.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Doc
then
Holliday.
the other one, and then the other one is Mr. Mom, 220, 221, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Michael Keaton. There's an underrated movie called Night Shift. There's some great lines in there too. You know, feed the mayonnaise to the tuna. There's some classic lines in that one. Heather, what's yours?
I came up with a lot. And some, like you said, quotes of movies I've never actually seen. Some that go back in time, like from the Terminator, "I'll be back," things like that. I say that all the time. But like we quoted a lot of like Anchorman. There's some great quotes in there, even though I didn't love the movie the first time I saw it. But like, there's studies on that, you know. 60% of the time, it works every time. Like things like, you know, we do those types of quotes. Also from Jerry Maguire. There's so many quotes in there.
Yeah.
You had me at hello. Things like that. You complete me. Show me the money. There's tons in there. We used to quote a lot of like from Napoleon Dynamite back in the day.
Have you seen Jerry Maguire?
I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay.
It's not the best movie, but there was a lot of little one-liner that came out of that.
Yeah.
Do you consider Jerry Maguire a sportsman?
He's a sports agent, so sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people don't. They think more of a lobster. I do.
I don't think Ron Tidwell got proper medical attention on the field at the end of that game. Hey, buddy, hey, wake up.
I think I know what your number one line will be, but what's the one that you...
Well, I'm interested to hear this because what I think are the best lines aren't the most famous lines. You got to go with the deep cuts. That's what I like. I love the deep cuts, the ones that not everybody's going to say.
Okay.
And I feel like I just in the amount of movies, sci-fi content that I've consumed over the years, I do feel like I have a large database of things to get to. But I would say the one thing that's coming to mind right now, if someone is talking about a performance or something like that and saying how impressive it is, I go to Darth Vader saying, "Impressive." Most impressive.
So I was going to go with...
a great one.
Yeah. May the Force be with you.
Yes.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Everybody knows, and I've never seen it.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
I like that.
I like the fact that he brought up deep cuts, because to me, my favorite line from Rocky is, "Hey, these are the two turtles cuffing Luke." I don't know why that cracks me up so much.
Now I got if we're going to do deep cuts, I think one that gets overlooked in the Avengers movies is the credits at the end of Age of Ultron. Thanos goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself." I mean, and that was a great prelude to what Infinity War.
Okay.
Let's go to Ryan in Detroit. You're at 97.1.
All right, John.
Hey, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hey, so Heather kind of stole my thunder, but the king of the one-liners and my favorite movie is Get to the Chopper!
always best when you say it.
Hey, Predator. Let me tell you, I can watch that movie 1,000 times like it's brand new, and Arnold just does his job with the one-liner. Hey, I had a question about to you guys, if I could, about the game you play on Thursday.
Grand Slam, yeah.
For the $2,000.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys ever consider starting the clock after the first question? That'll give people just a little more advantage on the second.
Well, then it wouldn't be 60 seconds. It'd be 65 seconds.
Yeah, it would be the play clock in the NFL. It'd be that extra beat.
Yeah. No, we've never considered that.
I'll be stony like early in the show when we talked about the Patrick Kane goal should have been allowed.
Yeah.
Oh, nope, that's the rules.
That's the rules.
The rules.
Got to start it at some point. Got to end it at some point.
Dave in Mount Clemens, you're a 97 on the ticket.
Hey guys, I think mine was probably from one of my favorite scenes in a movie, but it's like, you can't handle the truth.
Yep. That's a good one.
In that same scene, the whole, who ordered the code red, I think is is a classic one. Say good morning to Jim in Walled Lake. You're 97 on the ticket.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How about an old one? Open the pod bay door, Al. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh, that was from what, 2001: A Space Odyssey?
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah. I think I saw that movie once, so I basically wouldn't remember if I haven't heard that quote time and time again. That's the thing from 2001: Space Odyssey that people remember most is the theme. Bum, 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 bum. You've heard that before.
Sure I have.
Yeah, I know you have.
Probably
done a lot better than what I did. That's for damn sure.
Yes.
What about
every time I take the kids fishing, and we get a full live well, I'll tell them I think I need a bigger boat.
Yes.
From Jaws. Yes.
Great one. How about the another iconic line is from it's the Billy Crystal Meg Ryan movie. I forget what the name.
When Harry Met Sally.
Yeah, when I'll have what she's having.
I'll have what she's having. Yes, that's a good one.
Great line. 248-539-9797.
Odyssey is your new home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today. Powered by Golling Auto Group. Experience the Golling difference at golling.com. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Corwell Health Sports Desk. This is 97.1. The Ticket.
Brought to you by 24 Seconds Bar and Grill. As C.J. Gardner-Johnson said on social media after the game, not the same Detroit.
Here we go. One final snap. Execute it, and it's over. Goff takes a knee. Say good night. This game's over. Two teams will meet out in the middle of the field to say job well done, job better done on this night by the Detroit Lions. They have come in and knocked off the Super Bowl champs.
As heard right here on 97.1 with Dan Miller, the Lions stunned the Super Bowl favorites with a resilient comeback victory on the road at one of the most hostile road environments in sports, beating the Chiefs 21-20 at Arrowhead Stadium to begin their season 1-0 for the first time since 2017. A rookie safety Brian Branch with a pick six in the third quarter, the first interception in an opener for Patrick Mahomes in his career. David Montgomery had the go-ahead rushing touchdown late, and the defense halted KC in the end after Detroit failed on a 4th and 2. As Jared Goff said after the game, they found a way. At the same time in New York, a salvage game against the Yankees for the Tigers, 10-3 the final, with Spencer Torkelson continuing to rake. 2 more home runs onto his season total, now up to 27. Erod got his 11th victory with a quality start, and Matt Vierling had 4 hits in the win. And 19-year-old Coco Gauff made her first U.S. Open final with a 2-0 victory. She advances. She'll face number 2 seeded Ariana Sabalenka, who knocked out American Madison Keys. Coco will go for her first Grand Slam victory tomorrow in New York. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, go to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
This is Spider-Man Allen, and I have a message for everyone in the NFL. Spider-Man sitting on the seat with his helmet way down low. Yeah! Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Are you sitting on the edge of your seat?
Yes, we are.
Detroit Lions that no one seems to beat.
Boom, boom, boom.
Another one bites the dust.
Bites the dust. Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we're live from Las Vegas. This place was packed last night, mostly Lion fans, and we had something to cheer. A game that was crazy, some controversial decisions by coaches on both teams, some drops by both teams, a lot of stuff. But the Lions prevailed, won, and are 1-0. John, you called it when the frickin' schedule came out of April.
Yes. No one wanted to believe me.
Yeah.
They called me crazy, called me a homer, and here we sit 1-0. We're in Vegas, and I know the team is, they're back in Detroit after taking off last night with a victory. How about this? Defending Super Bowl champs. Patrick Mahomes, the best player in the NFL, and I don't think there's many people that will dispute that, but this was Arrowhead. It was everything was against the Lions coming into this season, and so many people thought, you know what, hey, they're going to be good. They're nice. This is cool. And now all of a sudden, reality smacks them in the face, and Lions fans are sitting here going, it's real.
Yeah.
It is absolutely real. 8-2 at the end of the year. Now all of a sudden, hey, what we saw then from Jared Goff, from the improved defense, it is real. What is going on in Allen Park is actually different than it has been for a long, long time.
The telephone number is 248-539-9797.
Starting route to 20040 Woodworth Street.
Canceled today because of the
In half a mile, turn right.
I don't think your work has been canceled. Some of you might have been smart enough to call in anyway and make a long weekend for the Thursday night.
At the next light, turn right.
Man, yeah, it wasn't perfect. Who cares? It feels so freaking good.
Hey,
it really does.
We did it for the Wings, right? Hey, if the season were to end right now, they'd be in the playoffs. Right now, best record in the NFL. Undefeated. 1-0, baby.
Yeah.
This is Stonia Jansen on about 90 minutes of sleep.
Yeah.
It was a good time last night.
Turn blink around with your ring.
At the light, turn right onto Middlebelt Road.
Jared Goff is 2-0 against Patrick Mahomes. A little different than the last time they played.
Yeah, that was a shootout.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
In 1.9 miles, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Middlebelt Road.
Yeah.
And Jared
Gotcha
Goff
in time.
owns him. Let's just call it as it is. He owns Patrick Mahomes.
That's the record speaks for itself.
You don't want to say it, do you?
No, I don't. I'm not going to go that far. He was 22 of 35, 253. Mahomes, 21 of 39 for 226. He did rush for a lot of yardage. Actually, I won that bet.
Yes, you did. Yeah, Derek Stevens gave us that one yesterday on air. Hopefully, a lot of people took advantage of it because it paid out.
Yes. And I don't know where you guys watch the game, whether you were in a bar, whether you're at home. There are people here having fantasy football convention drafts and things like that. Lots of people around here, but it was a good football game. I mean, as far as, excitement, the spread of the game, because it was apparent that Kelsey wasn't going to play towards game time. You kind of figured out that anyway, and so the line dropped to 4.
Yep.
And all the money was on the Lions, it seemed, and that was pretty damn smart money, especially if you took the money line.
Yep, one straight out.
Yes, indeed, like Greg Hargrave did over here. 248-539.
In 1 mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Middlebelt Road.
Texts all show long, just your feelings. Look, like I said, there were a lot of good things. There were some, things that need to be worked on, but that's what the first game's about. I mean, and I'll tell you one thing that I think should not be overlooked, and I'd love to hear what everybody has to say about this. It's early, okay? It is early, but the draft looks pretty damn good right now. Okay?
Those first 2 rounds.
Look, Gibbs, he only touched the ball 9 times, but when he did, he was pretty good. 6 yards a carry when he rushed the ball. He only caught the ball 2 times. Both of the 2 times he was targeted, and he got 18 yards on the 2 catches. Jack Campbell certainly looked like he belonged. Obviously, Brian Branch look like
The
people
pick
hung.
6, baby.
Yes.
Pick 6. And then how about Sam Laporta? 5
Yes.
targets, 5 catches.
Yes.
And some of them were contested. I thought he played extremely well. And not only as a pass catcher, but there were moments in that game where he was either front side and had to get his head in there, had to make sure that he had good angles. And there were other times where he was pulling across the formation. I thought he did a tremendous job in the run game as well.
Yes. And look, Dan Campbell was there. We'll play the soundbite a little later in the show. I'll paraphrase it right now. But, you know, he was asked if he learned anything from the game. He said, no, he just got
validation.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto Middle Belt Road.
This is what we thought they'd be. They'd be a tough football team. The head coach has not changed. I mean, you talk about a big set of cojones with the fake punt early in the game.
Their own 17-yard line.
And they saw something, and Jalen Reeves, Maven gets the first down.
There was the air.
In 7 miles, turn left onto West 8 Mile Road.
My
because
Lord.
It was 4th and 2.
Yeah.
From their own 17-yard line, they lined up for a punt, and we're all thinking, all right, hey, let's, okay, first series, whatever, second series. And when he snapped it to Jalen Reeves Maven, everybody held their breath as he was running towards the line of scrimmage. And then as soon as he had the first down, the place absolutely erupted.
Yes.
It absolutely erupted. So I don't know if you were at home and you were jumping up and down on your couch, on your bed, or if you were at a buddy's house, a family's house. It just was. We'd love to hear what the reaction was on that as well as the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of the reaction from that was, oh my God, it worked, but I didn't like the call. There were a few other things he did that were debatable.
Sure.
I mean, down to the very end, the 4th and 2, when they went for it and they passed the ball, didn't get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so we always thought the big matchups were going to be Mahomes and Goff.
Right.
You're like, how were those two going to perform? But it really, I think a lot of people were doubting Dan Campbell. Could he match up with Andy Reid? And some of these were, the gambling Dan in the first quarter paid off. The one at the end, it ended up not harming them. But then you look at Andy Reid. This is a guy that has been to multiple Super Bowls, has multiple Super Bowl victories. Yeah, he's going for it on 4th and 20.
And then 4th and 25. Yeah. And then there was a time before that where you thought he should go for it, and Andy Reid punted.
Right. I mean, so it's my point is, you could be a third-year head coach, or you could be a seasoned Super Bowl winning veteran coach, and you're still, it baffles you as to what some of these guys are thinking when they make those decisions.
Yeah, and look, there was the one with the penalty where the Lions decided to, forgo the penalty and and make it 3rd down and long, but
instead of forcing them into 4th and 2 and possibly punting.
Right. I you know what, with Andy Reid, you never know. I personally think he would have gone for it, whatever. But there were a lot of other people thought that was a bad decision by Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
And there was one later in the game that actually ended up, it didn't make a difference because Montgomery ended up scoring the touchdown, where Kansas City got called for a defensive holding, so it would have been 1st and 10, right?
Yeah.
And the Lions opted to go, it would be 1st and 5, and the Lions opted to go 2nd down. 2nd and 2. And to me,
that's kind of splitting hairs a little bit,
yes.
and we'll get a chance to do all of that.
Yes.
But what happened is, and Dan Campbell said this when he was talking about Riley Patterson, we're going to play to the strengths of our players, and some of it is the strengths of him. This is the strength of Dan Campbell. We've seen him now for 3 years be a guy that, whether it's an onside kick, and it's more of a gamble going against the Rams in year 1, because you knew they had to do those just to stay in the game. And I'm curious, when we get a chance to talk to Dan next week, was this the gamble early on that he felt like he needed to stay in the game with the Chiefs? I mean, it's early, but
I'm sure it was.
It's something that they saw. Hey, if you get this look, we're going to run this big.
Yes.
They saw it, they got it, and it was on their own 17-yard line, and it converted. It worked. Mm-hmm. But that's something that we know. That's a strength of Dan Campbell. Sometimes it's a weakness, but he knew the strength of his team, of his players, and what he was going to need out of them the situations he can put him in to get a win.
Now, obviously, there are some people who are out there say, well, you know, Chris Jones didn't play, Kelsey didn't play, blah, blah, blah. It's National Football League. Guys get hurt. Guys don't, you know, are contract holdouts all over the league. That stuff happens. Hey, Kadarius Toney dropped, what, 3 balls?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And, you know, all right, well, you know what? You know, if they don't drop all those balls, you know, you never know what's going to happen. Well, Marvin Jones dropped balls, too. And he had a key fumble when the Lions were going in.
No points, in the red zone.
Exactly. So the game, it was a pretty even game if you think about it. And I just think the Lions were the tougher team. They were who we thought they were.
You know what,
Yes,
guys?
thank you, Dennis.
They persevered, and the things that were consistent with last year, the offensive line is closing out games. You know?
Yeah.
Where you got the first down last night. You put them to death. You killed them. You killed them off last year. What was it? When Sewell made the catch, you know?
Yes.
The Packer game last year. I've never seen this in my life. This is like, I love the fact that they're not giving the ball back to the other team. I mean, they did initially last night, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But then when they got the second chance to put the kill in, they made the Chiefs use the 3 timeouts. They got the first down. They're dictating.
And I think we saw why they went and signed David Montgomery. I mean, you know, yards per carry don't look great, 3.5, but when he had to get yards, he did. He ran tough, 21 carries, 74 yards. I mean, you know, would Jamal Williams have had that game? Maybe. I don't know.
I doubt it. And, you know, who knows? But that's really, it doesn't matter anymore.
No.
And here's another takeaway that I had last night. When we've watched, and we've done this for years, whether it's college football or NFL football, and we've watched in Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, in the playoffs, 2 heavyweights slugging it out.
Yes.
It felt last night at times that there were 2 heavyweights slugging it out, and to know that we had a seat at the table, that if we had one of the teams that was actually a heavyweight, and then to win the game, it just felt great.
Yes, and they did it despite the fact Kansas City cheated the whole game. All right, we'll get into that coming up next. The telephone number, 248-539-9797. Yeah, John, you and your ilk, cheaters.
Yes, we try. It's not illegal till you get caught. And they got caught. Hey, when I have a question about my finances, I turn to my bank, and that's First Merchants Bank. I know that they're attentive. Local bankers are 100% interested in listening to my situation and in helping me find the answers that I need. First Merchants doesn't provide cookie-cutter solutions or check-off boxes when it comes to financial advice. They take the time to learn about my life, my personal and financial goals, and they work with me to build a plan that fits my situation. That's because First Merchants Bank really cares. They see me not just as an individual, or as an individual, not just as a number, and they're going to do all they can to help their customers and communities succeed. You can count on that, since First Merchants is staffed by local bankers. They're very familiar about the needs, about the local individual, and the local community in large, because it's their community as well. We know we've got to all work together to help it prosper. To get started on your personalized financial solution today, you can visit them at firstmerchants.com. That's firstmerchants.com, member FDIC.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Fiat Chrysler USA, dealing with a freeway closure this morning on 275 southbound after Michigan Avenue. All lanes are blocked due to an earlier accident. Of course, crews are on the scene trying to clear this up, but you're backed up right now from about Cherry Hill. You can use Haggerty as a possible alternate. Elsewhere, there's a disabled vehicle, Lodge Freeway heading northbound just after 7 Mile. That's affecting the left lane. And some road work coming up today in Sterling Heights, Van Dyke southbound from 18 to 17 Mile. Look for a work crew in the left lane from 9 to 3. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Recalled airbags can explode, sending shrapnel flying and causing serious injury or even death. You only have one life. Visit checktoprotect.org to find out what fast, free repair options are available. That's checktoprotect.org.
I feel bad for the Johnson kids next door. Their parents just use their phone for home internet. So when everyone's online, it could be mad slow. Tom can barely play a full round of Horse Commander 3. Luckily, we get fast and reliable internet from Xfinity, so I can game while everyone's on with basically no interruptions.
Hey Jess, can I borrow some eggs?
You want a game here?
Please. Now through September 21st, get 75 megabit internet on the Xfinity 10G network for $20 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. And ask about how you can get one free line of unlimited mobile when you upgrade to 400 megabit internet. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Visit FanDuel.com/Wojo and kick off the NFL season with an offer you don't want to miss. The FanDuel is the official partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager. Only $10